You're lifting weights, eating more protein, and you've even started counting steps. And somehow, you're gaining weight. Welcome to the beautiful contradiction of midlife. No, our bodies aren't broken. They're just in transition. And weight loss has become a little more complicated than calories in, calories out. Spoiler alert, the scale isn't the truth teller we were raised to believe. Especially not when our hormones are shifting, our muscle mass is changing, and our workouts are triggering a completely different biological response than they did in our 20s and 30s. In today's episode, I'm peeling back the curtain on why our body reacts differently to strength training in perimenopause and what that extra weight is really telling us. So, grab a quick potty break and walk right past your bathroom scale. I mean it. Do not stop. Do not weigh yourself. And I will be back to break it all down in less than 90 seconds. Welcome to Are You There Midlife? It's me, Monica. Hi, I'm Monica Topetti, wife, mom, health coach, and hormone imbalance survivor. And I'm on a mission to help women in midlife balance hormones naturally without drugs, doctors, or divorce. Are you tired of dealing with heavy, painful periods that look like a crime scene? Are you sick of struggling with anxiety, fatigue, or brain fog that... What was I just saying? Are you frustrated doing all the things to lose weight but still packing on pounds faster than a real housewife changes Birkins? Girl, you are in the right place. Join me each week as I spill the tea on what to expect in perimenopause and beyond. From IBS to insomnia, bloating to funky body odor, I'll unpack all the weird stuff happening inside our midlife bodies, plus give you the latest science and holistic solutions to manage it all. So ditch the Spanx and hop on board the Hot Mess Express. Let's do this. Hey, beautiful. Welcome back to the show. Okay, so according to a recent Healthy Women survey, nearly 70% of midlife women said they feel confused by the scale when they start a new workout routine, especially strength training. Even more frustrating, half of those women said they quit entirely after just a few weeks, convinced their body just wasn't responding. The truth is, gaining weight after lifting isn't because we're not trying hard enough or because this is just what happens once we enter menopause. It's about our midlife bodies responding to stress, strength, and hormone shifts in ways that often look like failure on the scale, but are actually part of a much bigger picture. Over the last several episodes of the podcast, I've been sharing tools that help move the needle on weight loss over 40. I'll be sure to link episodes 75 through 78 in today's show notes in case you missed them. Today, we're continuing that conversation by zooming in on one of the most common but misunderstood hurdles women face in midlife: post-strength training weight gain. Wah, wah. Yeah. In this episode, I'm breaking down 3 science-backed reasons your weight might be going up before it goes down, and how to know whether it's temporary or something deeper. Plus, I'll walk you through the 3 worst things you can do if the scale spikes after a workout. Let's get into it. Let's start with an entirely natural response to lifting weights in midlife: water retention. You're gaining water, not fat. I'm not talking about the kind of fluid retention and bloating that hits after a salty snack or high sodium meal, but the kind our body needs to actually help repair itself. Yeah, the good kind. Because when we lift weights, especially either for the first time or after a long break, we create these little microscopic tears in our muscle fibers. That's the good kind of damage that signals growth and helps build muscle and build strength. But in order to repair and build, our body springs into action by sending inflammatory cells and fluid to our muscles, storing extra glycogen, like carbs, in our muscles, and retaining electrolytes like sodium to help regulate the recovery process. For every gram of glycogen, we actually hold on to 3 to 4 grams of water in our body. So when we see the scale go up, we're not actually gaining fat. We're just holding on to water, storing nutrients, and healing. This is exactly what happened to me. After taking about a year and a half or so break from lifting because, well, life, and truthfully, I was just kind of feeling a little burnt out, I finally got back into the gym last month. Prior to that, I'd been eating clean, tracking my macros, walking 9,000 to 10,000 steps a day, and my weight has pretty much stayed between 119 and 121 pounds. But within a week of picking up the weights again, the scale jumped 2.5 pounds. And then a little more each day. Same calories, same steps, same water, just heavier. And even though I knew what was happening biologically in my body, I still had a moment where I felt broken. But I wasn't, and neither are you. In fact, a study in the Journal of Applied Psychology physiology found that muscle swelling and water retention can cause up to a 4 to 6 pound fluctuation during the first few weeks of resistance training. 4 to 6 pounds. And that's even with no increase in calories. So, if you're seeing 1 to 4 pounds or more of weight gain in the first 3 weeks, you're not failing. You're not off track. You're rebuilding. Which brings me to the second reason the scale may be creeping up when you're lifting: body recomposition. The truth is, you're not gaining fat, you're gaining muscle. Now, before you roll your eyes and say, yeah, but my pants still don't fit, let's break this down. Contrary to popular belief, muscle does not weigh more than fat. Honestly, a pound is a pound. But muscle is more dense, meaning it takes up less space while pulling in water, nutrients, and glycogen as it grows. A visual I like to use with my clients is compare a 5-pound bag of packing peanuts with a 5-pound brick. Same weight, a lot smaller, and less fluff. This is called body recomposition, losing fat and building muscle at the same time. In fact, research shows that women over 40 can gain 2 to 3 pounds of lean muscle in the first month of consistent resistance training. And muscle doesn't just mean a tighter or more toned appearance. Muscle is metabolically active, meaning it helps us burn more calories at rest, keeps our blood sugar balanced, and supports healthy hormones over time. But here's the kicker. The scale, it can't measure all of that. It bundles water retention and muscle gains together and then just gives you one number, which is why so many women bail too soon when they're actually making real progress. So, if you're eating for your hormones, lifting weights, and feeling stronger, but the scale's up, that could be body recomposition. Don't quit before it shows up on the scale, because it will. Finally, the third reason the scale may be creeping up when you're lifting in perimenopause is because hormones, specifically cortisol and estrogen. I know, hormones can sound like a default excuse, but here's the thing. They're actually the operating system controlling our ability to recover and rebuild. When we lift weights, we activate our stress response. That's normal. But in midlife, we're more cortisol sensitive. So our body tends to hold on to stress longer and recover more slowly. And here's what happens next. Our blood sugar goes up because cortisol's job is to give us quick fuel. Our water retention increases, especially in our bellies, because cortisol tells our body to brace for impact. And our progesterone decreases because our body actually steals progesterone to make more cortisol. And lower progesterone results in more bloating, inflammation, and slower recovery. So what does the higher number on our scale actually mean? Is it fat? Is it water? Is it inflammation? Honestly, it could be a combination of all three. Water weight from fluid shifts, inflammation from the stress and repair cycle, and possibly fat if insulin resistance has entered the picture. And then there's estrogen. Estrogen helps us repair, recover, and regulate inflammation. But when it drops, like what happens when we enter perimenopause, and especially in menopause and postmenopause, our body can retain even more water, repair more slowly, and workouts can make us feel puffy or inflamed longer than they used to. So if you're lifting and experiencing weight gain, it might not be about your workout at all. It might be your hormones. We'll get into the 3 worst mistakes you can make when the scale starts spiking after a workout in just a minute. But speaking of hormones, if you find yourself asking, why am I gaining weight when I'm doing everything right? Or how do I know if my hormones are actually the problem? That's exactly where my hormone symptom profile assessment comes in. And you can take it for free right now at bit.ly/takemyhormone-quiz. This tool was originally developed by 3 functional medicine doctors using something called hormone symptom profiling. And it helps women connect the dots between their symptoms and the most common hormone imbalances in perimenopause through postmenopause. It's the same assessment I use with every woman I coach, because eating clean and working out won't move the needle if your hormones are fighting you behind the scenes. Nearly 1,700 women have already taken this assessment and gotten clarity on what's going on with their hormones and why nothing they've tried to feel better or lose weight is working the way it should. Summer's here, ladies, and there's no better time to get ahead of your symptoms and start making your workouts work for you again. Take my free assessment at bit.ly/takemyhormone-quiz or just click the link in the show notes. So if you're lifting and the scale's climbing, here are the 3 biggest don'ts to avoid. Are you ready? Number 1, don't slash your calories. Cutting calories too low can spike your cortisol, tank your recovery, and slow your metabolism. Translation, you're going to feel worse and you're going to lose muscle instead of fat. Temporary weight gain isn't a sign to eat less. It's a signal to recover better. Number 2, don't stop strength training. Muscle is what makes midlife weight loss possible, not cardio marathons or starvation. Strength training builds the lean muscle mass that burns fat, stabilizes blood sugar, and keeps your metabolism humming. If you stop now, you're going to interrupt the progress that's actually working for you behind the scenes. And number 3, don't panic and cut water. Bloating makes us want to cut fluids, but it backfires fast. because hydration helps flush inflammation, improve recovery, and reduce water retention over time. Pull back on the water, and your body's just going to retain more. So what should you do if you start gaining weight after lifting that won't send your hormones into a tailspin? Join me back here next week for part 2 of this episode, where I'll share 5 science-based strategies that'll finally move the needle in the right direction without starving yourself or living in the gym. Until then, wishing you health, happiness, and fewer hot flashes. Hey friend, can I call you friend? Because I already feel like we're friends in my head. Did this podcast teach you something, make you laugh, or feel less like an alien? If so, I would be so incredibly grateful if you could take just 60 seconds to rate, review, and subscribe. That is the number one way you can thank me and support the show. Until next week, stay cool and keep away from sharp objects.